also. Before we start, I would just like to kind of remind all of us on auditorium etiquette and rules. We've kind of been doing that on all of our concerts recently. These kids have worked extremely hard to prepare this for you for this evening, so we would ask that while they're playing, that you do not talk, and then if you'd like to applaud politely after, that would be absolutely wonderful. But that would be great for them, because it's kind of rude for them to hear a lot of talking. We also remind you that you're in an auditorium, which is a fine facility that we've taken care of and we're very proud of, so we would appreciate it if you would not put your feet up on the modesty wall or on the seats or anything like that. That would help us keeping this to be a premier place for us. So thank you very much. And at this point, I would like to introduce our combined 5th grade bands and their director, Mrs. Katie Capani.
Thank you. Thanks. That's usually how we start every band class on our Thursday or Friday. On Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we have our small groups where we meet with individual instruments, and I meet with the trumpets, the low brass, and the percussion, and Mr. Shem meets with the flutes, clarinets, and saxophones. Then on Thursday and Friday, we have our combined rehearsal, and that's how we start every rehearsal. We try to start every rehearsal that way. The next thing on our list, and what you see on the board, and hopefully what you have in your hands, is what the students see every day when they walk into class on the board. So they'll see exactly what they're going to do each day. We're going to move on to buzzing, and the flutes pointed out that they don't buzz, which I should have known that. We're just going to have on our head joints, our mouthpieces, mouthpiece barrel, mouthpiece neck. This was the very first thing they did when we got their instruments. We taught them how to make a sound on their instrument. So here we go. We're in a very big hurry to get it back on the instrument, so go ahead and put it back on your instrument so we can hear what the instruments sound like. And we're moving on to our instrument. And the next thing I like to do is I like to play my instrument and have them play back exactly what I play. Exactly like we did the clapping exercise, but instead of clapping, we're going to do it on our instrument. Thank you very much. That exercise is just using their ears, seeing if they can hear what I play, and then imitate me on their own instruments. Then you see on our warm-up, we sing Big Five. And I call it the Big Five because that's the first 5 notes that they've learned. And it's in our book, but we do our warm-up from our head. Sometimes I write stuff on the board, other times it's in their head. And so we're going to do the Big Five in a couple different ways. Thank you. So that would be the beginning of our warm-up, and that probably would take the first 10 minutes of class, maybe 15 minutes of class. When we were done with that, I would have each of the sections demonstrate the very last thing that we just did. We started out with the Big Five, and we played each note long. And then we played 2 shorter notes. I'm sorry, we played 4 short notes, then we went 2 short notes, and then the last thing we did was 1 short note on each pitch. So if I'm a saxophone player, I had to go G, A, B, C, D, C, B, A, G, which is pretty hard if you've only been playing for about 2 months that they've been playing. So now what I'm going to have you do is, I'm going to have them do for you is demonstrate that, each section. So here's my flutes, 1/4 note. Do the best you can. Beautiful flutes, nice job. Clarinets. Clarinets. 1, 2, ready, play. Awesome. Saxophone. If you're not playing saxophone, you're sitting quietly. Saxes. 1, 2, ready, play. Beautiful. Do I have a saxophone who wants to demonstrate that? Do I have a saxophone player who wants to be brave and play that for us? Go for it. 1. Good job. Trumpets. Trumpets. 1, 2, ready, play. Nice job. Low brass is way there in the back. They're like the 5th row, back in the dark. But they're going to play for you. Here we go, low brass. Do the best you can. 1, 2, ready, play. Nice. We have 2 sections of the drums, of the percussion today. We have bell players. Bell players, wave your sticks. Bell players. And then we have our snare drummers in the back. They're back there. They're going to play for us. The big 5, please. Drummers just tap. 1, 2, ready, play. Then the next thing that we do, every single band day, after we've done our warm-up, we move to announcements. And this is where I might talk to them about the concert that's coming up, or I might hand out a newsletter, take attendance, this kind of thing. But this is where I'm going to do my announcements for you guys. I just want to thank all of you for coming. I know this is a very strange kind of concert, but you guys know how your students are playing at home. And we don't have enough material to play a 45-minute concert 2 months into the game. So what I thought the best thing to do was, and I borrowed this from Mr. Smith, was just to have a class on stage. So you could get an idea of what kind of teacher I am, how I teach, and what they do every Thursday or Friday during class, during band. On the earlier days, we have just our small groups, and we go through a similar routine. What I wanted to talk to you about first, and this I always have to talk to the students about during their announcement section, is the practice cards. And hopefully, you guys have all seen them and have signed them and are monitoring what your students are doing. The practice cards look like this. They are pink or green or orange. And if I could have the flute section open up their book and show their parents where their practice cards are. What we did this year was we taped them on the inside cover of their books. Good, thanks flutes. And so each week they write in on the practice card how many minutes they practice. And then at the end of the week, I've told them to come up to you, hand you the book, hand you a pencil, and say, please sign my practice card. Then when they see myself or Mr. Shem early in the week, we keep track of it, we write down their minutes, and we put them on a large chart that looks like this. This is the Schofield Brass and Percussion Practice Chart. And this has each student's name and the minutes that they've practiced each week. I only write their minutes down if they've had a parent's signature, so you could really help them out by signing those practice cards. I have told them, however, that you're not going to come after them. They need to bring that book to you and have you sign it, and even better, they need to say, I'd like to play something for you, and then will you sign my practice card? So if they aren't doing that, just give them a gentle reminder, because that's what they're supposed to be doing. What we're doing is we're having a contest between the sections. So we're going to have a flute winner, clarinet winner from each school, And then we're having a contest between Mr. Shem's students and myself, my students. And the winner, the group that gets the most practice cards in a 10-week period, is going to have a pizza party. My brass and percussion students are at a little disadvantage because you can see the woodwinds are about twice as many of them as we are, but we're doing okay. So we're having a contest. As of right now, I'd like to announce the winners so far, individual winners so far, after 6 weeks. Okay, so this is my brass and percussion winner from Schofield so far. The contest is not over. So far is Lauren Gilbert, and she has 2,833 minutes. Stand up, Lauren. Stand up. There she is. Good. And as well at Schofield, and our flute player, our woodwind winner is Ashtar Ward, and she has 1,951 minutes. Okay, then we're going to move over to Mountain Park, and we have Roxanne Gale as our woodwind winner with 2,625 minutes. Roxanne. And Nikki Jean Dewsbout, our trumpet player in the back, she has 1,920 minutes. Okay. And at Westview, our woodwind winner so far is Stacy Edmondson, and she has 2,690 minutes. And our brass player and percussion player who has the most minutes is Adrian Bivens, and he has 960 minutes. So go ahead and stand up, Adrian. Now they're all mad at me because they had no idea I was going to do that. But those are the winners so far. We still have 4 weeks left in the contest, so you can really encourage your student to practice and get those cards filled out and signed for you. Another thing that I wanted to give you announcement-wise is the Band Boosters. Our Band Booster organization is a parent group made up of parents who have a student in band, 5th through 12th grade. So if you're interested in working with that organization or just finding out what they do, we meet the second Tuesday of every month at Chatterton Middle School at 7 o'clock. And after the concert, when we have our little reception that you brought your wonderful baked goods for, the Band Booster people will be out there and you can speak with them about that. One last thing to announce before we get going is we have a birthday in the band. He didn't even know I was talking about him. We have a birthday in the band today. Is it somebody's birthday? It's Robert Wells. He plays drums from Mountain Park. It's his birthday today. We won't sing. Happy birthday. Good. Okay, what we're going to do now, and this is what we do every day in band, after we're done with announcements, we jump right into our book. And it's an interesting contest to see if we can turn our book to the right page and the right number without talking. So without further ado, we're going to move on to our book. But we're going to skip right to number 2, and we're going to start from the very beginning, the first day we knew how to play notes, and then we're going to end up with some solos in our last song. Here we go. This song is number 2, and it's called Count and Play. Not a very exciting song, but that is the first song that we play together. The next song that we play is Two's a Team, and now we're going to have 2 notes, a song with 2 notes in it. We just played for you is called Moving On Up, and then all that song includes 3 notes. The next 2 songs we're going to play for you, one is called 4x4, 4 notes, and then the Fab Five, 5 notes. Here we go. Those were our first 5 songs, and they're not really songs, they're just little exercises using the 5 notes that we've learned. We move on, and we're actually going to play, the next song is called First Flight, and it's going to use all 5 notes that we've just learned. This song is called First Flight, and it uses all 5 notes that we've learned and kind of mixes them up and puts them in a different order. So it's practicing getting their fingers moving, getting their tongues and their air moving, and doing it in a row. So here we go, here's First Flight. That song was called Essential Elements Quiz, and it's a quiz built right into our book, and that was one of the first quizzes that the students actually had to play for us, where they individually played, and Mr. Shem and I gave them somewhat of a grade. So I would like to see if I have any volunteers in the band who would like to play that Essential Elements Quiz for the audience right now. Go for it. Everyone else is quiet for our soloist. Very nice, good job. Clarinet solos. Very good. Here's Brittany. Good job. Lauren? Trumpet soloist, Lauren? Good job. Brandon? This is a trombone soloist in the back. Brandon? Brandon. Do I have a drum solo, drummer? Go for it, James. You're playing Essential Elements Quiz. Good, thank you. And about this time, we've played those songs, and the students don't know any of those songs, and they're sick of those songs, but they're doing well on their instruments. They start begging, can we please learn a song we know? And the book is so smart that the next song that they learn to play is called Rolling Along, which is a familiar melody that you'll know. Many of you have heard that at home at least probably 1,000 times. So but they are learning more songs, so you're going to hear more. The next thing we do in our book is we learn a new kind of note that's called a half note, which is instead of holding one count, the note lasts for 2 foot taps. And I know you can hear their feet tapping. So this song introduces half notes, and the first thing we do is we clap. The next thing that we do is we take what we just clapped and we put it to a song, and this song is called The Half Counts. And we move on to another song that I'm sure you've heard many times, Hot Cross Buns, followed immediately by Go Tell Aunt Rhody. Next thing that we learned in our book is we did short notes, then we did 2 count notes, and then we learned 4 count notes. They'd actually been playing 4 count notes all along, they just never read them in their book. So the next thing we learned is 4 count notes, and they're called whole notes. So we're going to clap an exercise, then we're going to play it. Thank you. That was number 21. Then at this point, what we do usually, if we've made it through everything that we wanted to work through on the board, we're done with everything on the board, then we open it up for solos. And unfortunately, well, fortunately, I have 120 students sitting up here on stage who want to be in 5th grade band, and I think that's awesome. So give them a round of applause. 120 5th graders. And the best thing is, Mr. Rowland, who was the middle school band director, he looked at that list and he said, I would love it if they all stayed around and made it to 6th grade band. So let's keep our fingers crossed. So fortunately, I have 120 students. Unfortunately, we can't have 120 soloists or we wouldn't get home till about midnight. So we're just gonna have to pick a few volunteers from each section. They've been working, see? That's a good thing. It's a good thing that they all want to play. I hate it that I can't let them do it, but we'll just pick a few, we'll do some solos, then we'll finish up with number 38. So here we go. Let's have a flute soloist from the front row. And she's going to tell us her name and tell us what she's going to play.
Heather, and I'm going to play Hot Cross Bun.
Heather. See if I can climb back there. Oh, I can sneak behind them. Tell us your name and tell us what you're going to play.
Tony Glazer, and I'm going to play Hard Rock Blues.
Tony Glazer. From Schofield. Rest of the band is quiet for the soloist. Rest of the band is quiet for the soloist. Take 2. Job, Tony. Just for a point of reference, that was number 58 in the book. So if your students ever come home and say, I'm not sure what to practice, I know how to play everything we've already worked on, they can feel free to go ahead. Tony's gone ahead and he's learned already to play number 58. So encourage them to do that at home. We're going to move on and have a clarinet soloist. Tell us your name and what you're going to play.
I'm Alex, and I'm going to play number 25, Lightly Row.
Number 25, Lightly Row. Nice job, Alex. We're going to move to the trumpet section. We're going to have a trumpet duet. Lauren Gilbert and Jessica Vitti. And what are you guys going to play? Oh, Corliss is going to join them? What are you going to play? They're going to play a rolling along duet trio. Corliss, Jessica, and Lauren. Job, ladies. We're going to have we're going to have a baritone solo. It's Kyle. I can't get all the way back there. But it's Kyle Berry from Mound Park. And what are you going to play, Kyle? I should know. Doodle All Day from Kyle, way in the back. If you can't see him, just imagine he's back there. The rest of the band is quiet for the soloist. Hold on, Kyle, let's make sure they're nice and quiet. Go ahead and start, Kyle. We'll move over to the percussion section, and we're going to have Nicole. Okay, Nicole, Beatrice, Anthony, and Corey. These are my 4 Schofield percussion players, and they are going to play Rolling Along. Okay, Rolling Along for my bell players. We'll move back to the flute section. The flute soloist, we'll have Cassie. Cassie, what are you going to play? Cassie's going to play London Bridges, and Cassie goes to Schofield. Good. Another clarinet soloist. Here. Okay, you're going to have to pass the microphone so you can tell them all for me.
Amanda, Brittany, Courtney, Sophia.
Here we go. They're going to play what? Go Till I Wrote It. And we're going to go here. Anthony, right? No. Pass them up. Kenny, I'm sorry. Kenny, what are you going to play? Kenny's going to play Mozart Melody. I think you'll hear this melody that you're familiar with. Having some saxophone difficulties. Play me a G, Kenny. Just a G. Something's up with that. We'll look at it afterwards. Okay, Caitlin. No. Okay, we're going to do a duet. This is Caitlin and Brittany, a Mound Park saxophone duet. What are you going to play? When the Saints Go Marching In. This is another one way far ahead in the book that we haven't practiced. Quiet for the duet, please. Mr. Rowland's going to come look at your saxophone, Kenny. Here we go, ladies. 1, 2. Let's have Caitlin try that one by herself. Caitlin, do you want to try by yourself, Caitlin? Okay, well let's try Caitlin. Go ahead and start, Caitlin. Nice job, Caitlin. Mr. Rowland played today, and we're going to have Kenny. Go ahead and have Kenny play his song again, or try. There we go, Kenny. 1, 2, ready, play. trumpet solos. We'll have Gross and then Chelsea in the back. She's going to play as, this is a Schofield trumpet player. What are you going to play? Let's save that one. Let's save that one for Christopher. What are you going to play? Rolling Along by Christopher. My favorite, not my favorite trombone, I love all my trombone players, but we have one special trombone player because she's a trooper. She's our one girl trombone player and she's sticking it out. Jessica's in the back, she's going to play solo. She's brave. What are you going to play, Jess? Jessica's going to play Go Tell Aunt Rhody on trombone. I know you can't see her, but she's way back there. Thanks for that, Robert? Robert's going to play us a snare drum solo. What are you going to play for us? Lightly row on snare drum. All right, Robert. Hand sound, please. Hand sound. This is the part of class where everyone gets so upset because we can't have everybody play, but I'd like to have all of the fifth graders stand up right now. This is every fifth grader. They'd all love to play solos for you. Give me a nice round of applause. Go ahead and have a seat, fifth grade. Go ahead and have a seat. I would like my fifth graders to please at this time wait until I'm done though. Give their give their parents, their grandparents, their fifth grade teachers, their fifth grade principals, Mr. Shem. Have my fifth graders on stage. Please give all of those people a round of applause. Nice. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, guys. Because without you guys, with your support financially as well as everything else from the fifth grade teachers who let me pull them out of class 2 days a week and pull them out early and send them back late and only get mad at me every now and then, to the fifth grade principals who give me tremendous support, Mr. Shem, wherever he is, who helps me unbelievably, Mr. Rowland, who came up on stage. Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible, and if this isn't possible, then the middle school and the high school can't have the success that they do. So I want to thank you and myself as well. Thank you. We're going to finish up with our holiday favorite that we worked really hard to prepare for you. We had to skip ahead in the book to be able to play this tonight. So we're very happy to finish off our concert today by playing Jingle Bells for you. At the conclusion of Jingle Bells, hold on 1 second. At the conclusion of Jingle Bells, I'd like everybody to please join us out in the lobby for the afterglow put on by yourselves and the band boosters, so I can get a chance to say hello to you and the fifth graders can mingle with each other as well as you. So thank you for coming, and this is Jingle Bells. and have a happy holidays and good night.